13 people are now facing federal charges on Wednesday's riots, including a man with Georgia ties. And that is where we begin our continuing coverage tonight. We're learning more about the Atlanta area man who has now been identified as Cleveland Meredith Jr. 11 Alive's Naima Abdullahi reports he's accused of some pretty serious crimes and is no stranger to some local law enforcement agencies.
His name is Cleveland Meredith Jr. According to the FBI, he's arrested and charged with, quote, making interstate threats to Speaker Nancy Pelosi. According to court documents obtained by our news partner CNN, Meredith allegedly sent text messages threatening to cause physical harm to House Speaker Pelosi. CNN states that FBI agents found 3 guns after searching through his belongings Wednesday. All of this during the dangerous week when an angry crowd stormed through the Capitol, forcing lawmakers to hide for safety, an outcome that left 5 people dead, including a Capitol police officer, 83 arrested, and more than 40 police officers injured. An 11 Alive investigation shows Meredith has ties to Metro Atlanta, including a car wash business registered under his name. Fulton and Cobb County court records also tie Meredith to several other business dealings and traffic violations. And several social media accounts reportedly connected to Meredith shows numerous posts supporting the riot at the Capitol, conspiracy theories supported by President Donald Trump, and QAnon claims. According to the FBI, Meredith is one of 13 people who've been charged in federal court following the riot. An additional 40 people are charged in Superior Court, and the search continues for others responsible for the destruction.
At least 2 other men from Georgia have been arrested and charged in Wednesday's riots. 53-year-old Stanton, Georgia of Alpharetta was charged with after D.C. police say he violated the 6 p.m. curfew and refused to leave Capitol grounds. 65-year-old Grant Moore of Buford also arrested. Police say Moore was found with a loaded gun and ammunition. He was not licensed to carry in Georgia or in D.C. And 34-year-old Roseanne Boyland of Kennesaw was one of the 5 people killed during the insurrection. We are told she suffered a medical emergency and later died at the hospital. 4 others also died, including a Capitol police officer.